Francois, host of Wine with the Artistic Director here at Tempest Theatre in Penticton, British Columbia. In this series, we dig into some of the motivations, inspirations, and challenges of being a professional in the theatre and film and television industries. In today's special live audience episode, I sit down with powerhouse duo stage and screen actor-director Brian Markinson and stage and screen actor-director-producer John Cassini, both of whom are multiple award winners. John Cassini is artistic director of Railtown Actor Studio in Vancouver, and Brian Markinson is an instructor there. He's just, yes.
Pinot Blanc.
Pinot Blanc.
From Upper Bench Winery and Creamery, and Gavin and Shayna Miller are here. You guys should have seen how excited these two were downstairs. Like, so excited. They were juggling.
Oh. Throw, catch.
Throw, catch.
That's it.
Throw,
No.
throw, catch.
That's it.
Like, they were so excited, and that it would have been different had you not been here tonight. It would have been fine. I mean, we get along okay, but it would have been different. So it's
That's very true.
It's a secret. It's a very important ingredient, and having that taken away for 19 months, or having that not be around for 19 months, was very hard. It was really hard for all of us. But as artists, you're like, you know. So it's very exciting, and I want to talk a little bit about how we are going to integrate back and anything that we feel like we can do better.
An opportunity to talk about the work I don't really give up too often because I'm a nerd for it. Kate and I have known each other for 20-something years or longer. Mm-hmm. We had studied together in the early days, in that 89, 92 Vancouver days. And then we decided that we would join forces and create Railtown Actor Studio. We just had our 9-year anniversary this summer, so I'm really happy about that.
What these guys have built, it is so admirable. I'm in awe of it. It is, 9 years. That's a long time, and it costs a lot of blood and sweat equity from people who give a darn. So I mean, my hat and my long hair is off to you guys. I'm so impressed with it, and I'm glad to be a small part of the continuing legacy of what you guys are doing. My career has been a series of small forward steps, and I'm incredibly proud to be a journeyman. Started working off-Broadway, off-Broadway, regional theaters. I didn't work in front of a camera till I was 30 years old. I had no aspirations to work in television and film. I thought I was just going to be a New York theater baby my whole life. I think we live in a place where art is, like everything else, is commerce, right? I mean, and what I love about the theater is that, okay, it may not be as permanent. It's not, you give a performance on film, it will always be out there. But there is something immediate and magical about this. The fact that we're only going to share this one time. This group of people will only share this. You can do a show. I've done 300 plus shows, and everyone is different. And I'm a big believer in the now, and that's what I love about the immediacy of theater and the fact that you all contribute. And when I'm sitting on that side, I contribute that way.
I'm gonna do this now because you're all here and they're on the spot. So when are you guys gonna come and do a play?
We've been talking about it.
Yeah, soon. We have to find the play in the period of time, but yeah. We've been talking about it, actually.
Yeah,
I would love to do a play.
I'm really hungry. I try to do one a year. I feel it is essential to do that stuff. I'm in.
When they had theater back in the day, like when people went to go see Death of a Salesman, maybe there's some people know what Death of a Salesman is. It's a famous Arthur Miller play about a salesman on his ropes, on his last legs. But he's delusional, basically, that things are going really, really well, and it's a heartbreaking story. And when Willy Loman, the character of Willy Loman, leaves at the end of the play, near the end of the play, we all kind of know that he's off to go commit suicide, so his family can have. Oh my God, I got goosebumps! But so his family could get the insurance money. I hear, because I wasn't there, it was in the 50s, but almost every night that he would walk off, people would stand up and yell, "Don't go, no, don't go," because people were relating to what was happening to them in their lives, right? And I think it's just more and more important that theater continue to be a mirror of what's going on with us in society. And there's a lot going on in society these days. And so I look forward to theater helping us dissect that and deconstruct that for ourselves and teach us a little bit more about ourselves, because that's the thing about theater, I think you should leave understanding a little bit more about the human condition, because you've watched someone go through something, and it's universal when they're going through something that's as honest as, say, what that Willy Loman little piece was.
You were telling me.
Well, I mean, Angels in America. Are you guys know that play? Does everybody know that play? Yeah.
Because he was in the movie as well.
And I had this sort of weird relationship with that play. So I knew Tony Kushner back in the day. I was doing a play on Broadway in New York in '92, the same year that it exploded on Broadway. And I went, and we were on different schedules, and I went and I saw Millennium Approaches. I don't know if you know that, it's 7 hours, right? It's two nights, 3.5 hours. The first part is called Millennium Approaches. Second part is called Perestroika. And it is forged, for those of you who don't know, it's about it's called a gay fantasia on national themes. And Tony Kushner wrote this play, but it was, many of the people in his life were dying. They were dying of AIDS. Reagan had turned his back on what was happening. And so he wrote this. It was forged in grief and loss and anger. And it was, it's one of the few modern plays I think can be spoken in the same breath as Death of a Salesman. It is a profound piece of writing. If you don't know it, and I encourage you to pick that play up and read it. So I saw it, and it gutted me. It destroyed me. And then a number of years later, I had a chance to work with Pacino and Patrick Wilson in this incredible 20-minute scene that we shot in the Oak Room in New York. It was amazing. And then I did the play again, except I played the role that Pacino did at the Arts Club in Vancouver. And so for me, I lean that way more. I lean towards things that I want to be gutted when I go into the theater. I mean, I don't need to be distracted. I want to be punched in the head. I'm not masochistic. But don't you want to walk out of a theater and rather than have the thing just disappear into the ether, have something that stays with you for whether or not you may hate it, you may have a visceral reaction against it, but it opens up a dialogue, and I think that's what's so magnificent about this relationship. And as John was saying, this is fertile times. I pray that the writers get to work, because if you look back in the history of the theater, all the best writing happens. You look at the WPA and Odets and all those guys. You look at during the '60s in Vietnam, all the great theater comes out, and we're in one of those moments that I think we have an opportunity, if our writers just won't settle for taking that TV money.
We're writing a play.
Yes!
We're writing a play.
Yeah, you're writing a play now.
We're writing a play. It opens in 2 weeks.
Come see it.
I like what you said about walking out of the theater retaining something, like needing to talk about it, needing to sit down with a beautiful bottle of wine and have a conversation that may not have happened were it not for the piece of work that you just saw.
When we did Motherfucker with the Hat, we did it in, sorry Ronan. Beep, beep, beep. We did it in the east side of Vancouver, at a theater called the Fire Hall. And it deals with addiction, and it deals with the detritus of addiction and what's left behind. And so here we are in this theater with these beautiful words and these incredible performances. And you walk outside into the east side, and all of a sudden, you're amongst addicts. Like, people walked out the door and they were all of a sudden confronted with what they were dealing with in there. So that line gets blurred. And I think it's fantastic as you know, it would be great if there were no homeless people, no addiction. But
there are, and there needs to be conversation around it. You know?
Because there are people, and those people I know for a fact out there feel invisible. They don't feel seen. People walk by them. They do not treat them as human beings. And all of a sudden, to walk out and confront that, and then walk out, maybe you see
you look at them differently. Yeah. So I always feel if you're working the right way, and you're working from a place of your humanity, and you're constantly going through life, allowing yourself to be more empathetic and compassionate and open, and less judgmental of yourself and others, I think what happens is you're just more available to see the world in a much more deeper, bigger picture, and more relaxed, and you breathe more. So I think that's what it is. Otherwise, what are we doing? We're just on Earth, kind of like marking time and going to your day job or doing your thing, right? I mean, I think good parenting is an art. I think good conversation is an art. Like, there's so much, right?
It reflects the human condition back to us.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to watch people feeling and cracking than feeling and cracking ourselves, I think, a lot of the time.
You know, it exercises your empathy. It exercises your compassion. It opens you up and takes you out of this small world that you're living in. So, you know, that's circling back to what art can do.
And I think that this community is incredibly lucky to have this space, and I know you have big plans, and it's amazing. You're going to build something that is going to hopefully live a long time here.